talk about cell phones.
Okay.
Most kids these days, gosh, even at an early age, have them.
Yes.
And their faces are constantly buried in them.
Yes.
But can they learn some financial lessons from their phones? Yes, indeed they can.
Because a bill comes with this, you know. If you want to play, you got to pay.
Our money couple, Scott and Bethany Palmer, here to talk about how you can use the phone to teach your kids a thing or two about finance.
That's right,
Hello.
exactly. We have 3 points today we want to talk about. Now, our first 2 aren't directly associated with money, but they're really good points. And then we'll talk about money. All right, so the first one is cell phones are a great tool to teach your kids self-control.
Okay.
All right, so let me tell you a couple things that we do with our kids. We have a 14 and a 16-year-old.
Okay, so you're right in it.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of it. All right, so to teach them self-control at night, they have to take their phone and they plug it in downstairs, not in their room.
Smart. Okay.
So they learn that there's times when you can use your cell phone and there's times when you need to sleep and you need to not have that.
Do you cut it off at a certain time, like before bedtime, or it's just at bedtime?
Right around bedtime.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
right around bedtime. And then the other self-control thing we do is we say no phone zone when we're eating.
Yeah.
So that's really important. I can't tell you how many families, everybody's sitting around the, using phone, but you got to teach them self-control. No phones around eating.
Those are great points.
Really, really
But those aren't necessarily financial points.
The second one, though, that is not necessarily financial, is that phones are a great way to teach your kids that everything they text, everything they post, could follow them for life.
How do you teach them that lesson?
It's so important.
Besides getting burned, how do you teach them
really
that?
Good. You talk to them. Oftentimes, you're talking to them about what they want to do when they grow up. You know, what kind of job do they want? And you can show them. If you see a post on there that's not appropriate, you can say, this post could stop you from getting the job, your dream job.
Okay.
So it's really taking it into their real life and making sure they know that. You know, there's companies out there that are algorithms they're building that can compile all the information that we're texting, posting, everything, and sell it. No. So make sure that they're not doing that.
Okay.
It's really important.
Point number 3. The cell phone bill is an amazing way to teach your kids about money. It's one of the best.
Yes.
So
Hey, I barely had, I couldn't do it when I was an adult, pay those cell phone bills.
But it's great. So we actually, before we came on last week, we sat down with our 14-year, 16-year-old, and we actually went through the 3 steps. So there's basically 3 components of a cell phone bill that you want to show your kids. The first one is, most of us don't just buy our cameras outright, because our phones, because, every 3 years I've got to have a new one.
True.
That's just who I am. So part of the bill is the payment plan. We have 4 different phones, so at least one is on a payment plan. You show them that. The second thing is maintenance. Maintenance is a great thing to have, especially with kids, or we usually ruin at least 1 phone a year.
Yeah.
Let's say maybe someone left their phone on the bed, the other person put the sheets in the washer and ruined it. I still think that was her fault. But anyways, you go through phones. So showing them, hey, there's a cost of maintenance that we have.
Got it.
Last but not least, data. Data. You gotta show them what you're paying for data. So let's say you have a 16-year-old son.
There you go.
Okay.
This is his, oh, I just put it right in front of my face.
Okay.
This is his football face, but we're looking at the cell phone bill and we're looking at the data. Well, Cole, my 16-year-old, has more data than the 3 of us combined, than the 3 other people on the plant. So you've got to show your kids data, because they need to see what they're costing you or the family and how much they're using. Another great tool when it comes to this money side of things is you're setting the table to basically say, hey, someday this bill is going to be your own. And what Beth and I suggest is that you let them know when they graduate from either high school, if they go into the workforce, or if they go to college and get a higher education, when they graduate, that bill becomes their problem.
Inherit the bill.
And if they know what's on it, it's not a surprise, and they're kind of anticipating it. And when you're 30 years old, you're still not paying for that.
Got it.
Right.
There's so much more to talk about. Go to their website to learn more. I think it's a great starting point. You can go to the website, themoneycouple.com, for lots of seminars, articles, links to great stuff. You got to go there. I'm sure their son will never forgive them for making a giant cutout pom-pom head of their son. That is just
Moneycouple.com.
a little bit weird. But
All right.